Hey, I believe we have
Yes.
Chris Tacopina here. Is that true? Let's see what's going. Well,
There you
there he
go.
is. Chris, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
You bet.
Yes,
Where
yeah.
where where are you right now? And what are you driving?
I am driving back from a meeting right now, back to the office, well, the arena.
And
Yeah.
we have to thank you for coming on the show. I know it was hard to get your schedule because I said to people, you work for a living. We kind of
I do.
we kind of stalked you. We kind of reached out to you, Missy, Marissa, at all. But we've been following your dad on this case, and you know that I know him personally, teach with him, and we really wanted to get your take on what's happening from somebody who knows him better. He's been labeled. By our viewers as ASAP Taco. So we've said you're Taquito or something. I don't know, Michael.
So
Yeah.
Chris, nice to meet you. Appreciate it. I only know your dad from a case many years ago. It was in Jersey. It was called. It was in Essex County, I
It was in
believe.
Middlesex County.
That was in Middlesex. Anyway, and it had to be 20 years ago when I worked for Court TV. Anyway, he was a presence then. He's certainly a presence now. And for those who haven't been familiar with his work, they're getting a dose of it now. What do you think of Dad as things are unfolding?
I mean, this is Joe. This is who he is. He is, fiery. He is intelligent. He is disciplined, and he is going to make sure all the facts come out in light of and lack of facts in this sense here, with having,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, absolutely no physical evidence. The, if I may so, the fact that this is
Please.
even where they are this far in court with this trial, with having absolutely nothing behind it, is just because of who the defendant is and who they are tied to. And I truly believe that.
Yeah, as you're watching it, I mean, we were talking this morning. The prosecutor's making a distinction. Well, what Relly was doing was not the legal definition of extortion, and the judge kind of just put him down on that, put Lewin down on that. Your father's done a great job saying this case is about a shakedown from day one. Give us your thoughts, if you could.
I don't want to slander anybody involved with the case, but I will say that I've thought the judge has handled things, the best that he can in this sense. But as you saw in his summation, there is clear evidence of extortion, and he even explained it himself in that recording that the prosecution forgot to submit or play during the other 2 hours that they played in their summation. I forgot that one little clip.
Yeah, he got that. So as you see, our Sheila Duffy, Chris, your dad is doing a great job defending his client. And, exactly. Nice to meet you, Chris. And everyone is, please tell your friends about the wonderful channel. Thank you very much. And that our viewers they're in love with your dad. I mean, they're in love with your dad here. I mean, we've been accused of being biased, and maybe you are, but we're biased for justice, we say.
And doing it things the right way. Chris, you're not in the biz. You tell us exactly what you do and how you avoided getting into the practice of law.
I work for the Florida Panthers, the NHL team. I'm the strategy and insights manager down here in Florida, and I law is something that I was interested in college. I actually went in for pre-law. That was my major initially. I took the intro course, and I said, "Oh, way more." Well, not the glory that I thought it was. It was seeing my dad's trial and everything. Of course, that is, the top echelon of it.
Right.
But I've always been a sports fanatic, and I just figured that is kind of more the route for me. So I kind of carved my own path a little bit and went in the sports world. But I've always had an interest in it, and I've followed his cases always, and it's always been something that I'm extremely proud of, because he is, in my opinion, the best lawyer. He really is. And
He's really showing it.
it is really cool to see, and then when you have the instances like this when the trial is on TV, it's a different light. It's really cool for everyone to see the day to day how it happens. And yes, a lot of it does drag on and everything, but that's part of it. And it's a battle. The court is a battle, and it's really cool to see, the tactics of both sides, see what they do, see how they, look at the exact same picture, and then they tell you, oh, here's how you see this picture, here's how I see this picture, but it's the exact same thing. It's just seeing things from different perspectives, and I think that's really, really cool.
And the prosecution, well, tell us, your dad brings an intensity and preparation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's the same intensity in raising you and teaching you about the law to get your
I will
first
tell
interest
you
in the law?
something. I am one of 5.
Oh, wow.
We never got away with a thing growing up. So,
Yeah, but how about
yeah.
teaching about the law? Because I know you've been tweeting about the burden of proof, that it's the prosecution's burden of proof to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt. What in this case you think is the most important fact for the defense?
That they have no physical evidence tied to Rocky.
Good. That's
No.
good.
Are you surprised that?
And then when you see I'm sorry to cut you off.
No,
they
I
have
was jumping on you, but I was adding to your point. Go ahead and make it.
They have the video that they love to play, but then you have these 7 police officers who search the scene immediately after. They can't find casings or anything like that. Put that aside. They can't find any semblance that a shooting occurred. They can't find any, bullet holes in anything. They can't find gunpowder. They can't find anything that these trained police officers are looking for immediately. And then this guy comes back. First of all, when has a victim in the history of victims ever gone back to the scene of crime? Like, let me go pick up the bullets. Let me go get the casings. I got this. Never. That doesn't happen. Come on.
That's Inspector Gadget. That's why I call him Inspector Gadget. He did everything that 7 cops with spotlights couldn't do. So were you surprised, Chris, that in the prosecution's closing, they basically said, hey, this case is about whether or not you believe the defendant had a gun, a real gun. Well, if that's the sole question, how do you get to yes, beyond a reasonable doubt, he had a real gun?
Yeah, I actually thought I didn't get to see the full summation of the prosecution, I will admit, because I do work. I get pulled into meetings quite often.
Right.
But I had my laptop with me 24/7 during this whole thing. Like, I'm like, oh, are you talking to me? I'm sorry. Like, pause the stream really quick. What'd you say? So I'm staying up to date as much as I can. I will say it did seem like that summation, from what I gathered from it, was a lot of let's put the burden on the defense. Why haven't they presented, the evidence that he didn't do anything? Well, it's not their job. That's your job. You're bringing the case. Prove why a crime happened. Tie the physical evidence to the defendant, or don't bring the case.
Yeah, we did a thing that I thought that yesterday when Michael was getting ready to do some more interviews, that was burden shifting. I really did. That was burden shifting. It's their job to prove the case, and your dad's done a great job bringing in evidence to show otherwise. I mean, those tapes from Wally, how could you ignore it? To me, once Relly said that the tape from Wally was AI. That's it. Case over. Case over.
It's crazy. It's
That's
absolutely crazy. Immediately, as soon as I heard his voice, no, it's fake. That's fake. That's not me.
Yeah. That's not me on video. That's not me on audio. That's
those texts aren't me. No, this is
texts are not me. Yep.
The other siblings, are they into law? Is everybody in the family watching your dad? Or
we're all watching. Yeah, the family group chat is extremely active right now. We're all watching, but no, none of us went down that path.
Yeah,
interesting.
I want to say that your father has a reputation of being like a bulldog, and I've heard they always a bull in the shop. I have found your father, and I've known him for a long time. He is one of the nicest people I've known. He is a gentleman. He always asks politely about everything. It's just that if you're represented by him, he's going to do his job. And I get the same thing sometimes. You're a witch. You're a, the B word, whatever in the courtroom.
Hey, that's just me telling you. Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's but I just want to tell people, because you're on, and that he's such a gentleman. And when he, teaches when he teaches at Harvard, where we see each other, even though we weren't in the same group this year, we were in the same week, but not the same group. He has great points, So Brooklyn wants to know, what do you think of your father's new name that this chat has given him as ASAP Taco?
Yeah, I've seen ASAP Joey everywhere.
Okay.
I haven't seen ASAP Taco. I guess that's exclusive to you guys, but
Yeah.
it also is fitting. It's hilarious. It absolutely is hilarious, and it's appropriate.
I hope ASAP Rocky feels that way when hopefully there's a not guilty. Oasis Cat has question. Does your dad play hockey? He certainly is checking Lewin in the courtroom. LOL.
He does play hockey.
He does. Okay.
Yeah, he's by the way, there's a big fan. There's the Aussies, it's Miss Shorty down under watching him, and they're a big fan of your dad weightlifting. I assume that he does weightlifting and boxes and all, but because they all want to know. They want to know all about your dad. How can he put up with all this stuff in the courtroom? How does he deal with it? How does he deal with the stress?
Well, I mean, I gotta give a lot of credit to my mom. My mom has been my dad is, the best, and he's done a wonderful job, with everything he's done, providing for us and everything. But my mom is really the backbone of our family.
Go, Mom.
She has always been there to kind of been the voice of reason, and always, make sure you leave that at the office, come home, this is the home, and my mom's always kept everybody in line. And I think that's kind of in it. My mom's always been just kind of the optimistic voice that you need to hear from time to time.
Mom has a name. Mom has a name.
She does. Tish.
Oh, great. That's great.
Chris, one of the things about your dad is that he's just real, and that resonates with the jury. He's a personality, but he still seems like a real person, right? Not just a character. And I think that's so important and helps him be so successful. I wondered, where are you in the five? Where are you in the birth chain there?
I'm the second oldest.
Second oldest. Okay.
So my sister's the oldest, and then my other sister is the youngest. So the three boys are in the middle.
Okay. Wow. That's great. I'm glad that you're all such a support team. If you had to say one thing to the prosecutor right now, who's about to sum up, what would you say?
Cool it with the objections in the summation, buddy.
I think you just became a trial consultant there. And we do, as I said, we've been accused of being kind of a bias for the defense, but we're biased for justice, and we're biased for what we see.
We call it like we see it. And when we see, things going sideways, we don't really care which side it is that's going sideways. We're going to point it out, and we're going to suggest maybe something should be done differently. And in this particular case, there's been so much to talk about. Unfortunately for the prosecution, and most of it is against them, because this is a horrible case that most believe should never have seen the inside of a courtroom.
Yeah, and let me point out that Chris is not a lawyer. He's not part of the defense team. Therefore, he's not subject to the gag order. He's here because we stalked him down on Twitter.
Yes, he did it.
Because we wanted to get the information about how he, as a family member, views his dad, and it's obviously the same way that we're all view him. Joe has become all of our dads, Chris. I'm sorry to say, we may take him from it.
Put some more seats at the Thanksgiving table. So, wandering over. Hey, we'd love to talk to you when the verdict comes in. So don't mind Missy if she comes looking again.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I feel really good about it. I really do, especially after his closing. I feel even better, to be honest with you.
Cool.
Well, too bad he's gagged because he can't tell us.
Sorry?
Too bad he's gagged because he can't tell us how he's feeling.
Yeah, well, we'll take his son, and we appreciate you stopping by and sharing your thoughts about him and the case. And we'll see how it goes and talk to you again. We thanks again, Chris.
Really, really appreciate it.
Absolutely, guys.
Yeah, take care, bud.
Chris
Take care.
Tacopina.
Bye bye.